going on, Shop?
Not much. I'm very tired. Maybe I don't know if that's shining through, but I am. Hmm. Do you know how suddenly everything is your whole week is busier than you realized?
Yeah.
So I'm having one of those weeks where days are things are scheduled and it turns out everything's scheduled on the same day. Or you're like, "Oh, I guess I can go to that thing early if you need me to," but that means two extra hours of prep on your end to get to a thing, and then you forget that, oh, actually I agreed to do a thing later than that. So it's not like I'll go in early and it'll be fine. It's like, no, you actually extended what was already a long day. So it's just been a week of that.
A week of that.
Yeah, yeah. So far this week has been like that, of just like I have to do something for the job, so I need to get there early. Um, but then I have two shows at night. So because it's two shows, I don't actually get to go home and stare off into space for 30 minutes. I have to actually go to the other, go from one to the other and run hobble through the streets and all this other stuff. And yeah, and just I've got a friend crashing with me, so like making sure they can get into the apartment and then meeting up with them somewhere later. Uh, and and then but that means we hadn't caught up yet. So after the late thing, coming home and then catching up for like 2 hours. So
Right.
that's, when you start catching up at midnight, what's there to do? And so, and I'm already like the sleep deprived. So I already have a headache from not having enough sleep. So today I just kind of slept until the headache felt like it was mostly gone. And then but then I've got a lot to do this evening late, but then I have to do something very early in the morning tomorrow. And then I have a show after work that, so like it all just is snowballs, and it just, things are last minute and added to your agenda. Um and yeah, I'm just tired. I'm just tired.
I
So,
feel for you. I feel for you, homie.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure ultimately it will be fine, but will it? Am I killing myself slowly or quickly? I don't know. The jury's out.
Yeah, every now and then, like when I'm doing a lot of shows, and I'm exhausted,
Mhm.
like I always picture like God, like, yo, what are you doing? Like,
Yeah, who's this for? I
what's going
mean,
on, B?
yeah. The thing that I'm agreeing to do tonight, optional. I don't have to do either of them. I really don't. No one asked me to. These were
Amen.
decisions I made, but I think it's for the greater good.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do it.
Amen. I like
But
that.
at what at what cost? Why? Especially if you have an early morning. Oh, who cares? Whatever.
I will I tend to feel better that I did the thing most times I do that.
Yeah, because I mean, if I don't do the thing, then I will just sit in my apartment and be depressed, right?
Right.
So, in order to stave off depression, I saw this in a very timely tweet. You have to actually leave the house and you have to interact with people, and it
Yeah.
helps you not to be alone and sad. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess I need to do this thing, and I already have a built-in, like, oh, you need to go somewhere and do something. Go to a show, Shalewa. You get
Word.
flyers for every day. Every day there's a show happening
Yeah.
where you'll know at least one person on the. Just go.
You are literally friends with some of the most creative people in the world.
Well, that don't mean nothing. That don't mean I want to hang out with them. That just means they're good at jokes. You know what I mean? I don't. I just because they're creative and they're funny doesn't mean I want them in my house.
Fair,
That's the
fair.
other. You know what I mean? They're not all great. not,
I
not everybody's great.
love you, but you might not be a good hang. You
Yeah,
know,
exactly.
real
And
talk.
that's fine. I'm not a good hang. I know this
Hey.
by people who try to hang and they're like, ew. And I'm like, I know. This is why I dip out because I'm not fun. Not fun. So there's just a lot of that of um, okay, let's go somewhere and do a thing. So I'm trying to do that, but look at me, I'm yawning. It's the middle of the day. So
Feel
ridiculous.
you, Sha.
Yeah.
But I think it's the greater good. I think it's important to be out there. You're
Mhm.
seeing what New York has to offer.
Right. Yeah, I
You
mean, if
know,
I'm gonna pay all this rent, the least I could do is
real talk.
see what's happening.
Take it in. I like it. I feel you only because like yesterday I was tired
Mhm.
and I realized that I was complaining about being tired and all the stuff that I listed was things that the people around me did, and
What?
I like like I was like, yo, man, I had a long day. Like Gabby and the kids went to go see that play, and like Michaela's doing homework, and I was like, why am I exhausted over other people's to-do list?
Right, yeah.
Like they're busy and I'm chilling, but it wore on me. I don't know why. But they saw a nice play yesterday.
Oh,
Um,
good for them. I'm glad they weren't too tired for it.
Real talk. I was like, man, that sounds exhausted. I was like, I'm tired. You know what I mean? And I went to bed. But nah, I do think that is cool though. I think it's important to go out and be a thing like active in the things that New York has to offer. Um, I'm making it a point to like go see a couple of like exhibits that I've had like marked off over the next couple weeks. Um, and there's
Like art exhibits?
yeah, I'm trying to go see like there's a couple of like painting exhibits that are in Bushwick
Mhm.
that I've had as like on my to-do list and I haven't gone in. Um there's a photos a like photo store that like I just want to go look at, see what kind of cameras they got, and like buy stuff that I don't know how to use but like feel like I'm doing art,
Where,
you
the
know?
one in Bushwick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like there's stuff like that that like I've been like leaving on my to-do list that I haven't done. And then like my friends in Florida will hit me up and they'll be like, yeah, I'm in the pool. And I'm like, all right, if I ain't in the pool, I gotta be doing this stuff. Like if
Okay.
my feet ain't wet while I'm sitting down, what's the point of me like being in New York? Like
Huh.
that's the advantage.
Okay.
If I don't got the yard and the pool, I'm here is because of this stuff. So I gotta go do the stuff.
Mhm.
And then we could, I could say, yo, that's cool. I'm glad you relaxing in their backyard. I saw this, this, and this, and we could share together.
Mm. Okay. Are
Yeah.
you sure those exhibits are still up?
I mean, there's always something up in Bushwick. I know the locations are still up. Like there's those art houses are still up. I just don't know if they're necessarily showing the same artists anymore. But I'll go
Okay.
see what's happening. You know what I mean? I think it's cool that like that stuff is ever present.
Mhm.
And also, like I said, my kid does this stuff.
Right.
So it's a chance to kind of hang out with her and just like see what she's thinking and looking at. So yeah, I think it's a good bonding time, but I think to your point, I am tired,
Mhm.
but I do think it's
That's
important
my
to do
only
it.
point. I am tired. To your point, we are all tired, Shalewa. Yes.
I feel for you, homie. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But it's important. I'm glad you're doing it. Real talk.
Yeah.
I I was curious now that you got the extra room. The
Mhm.
are more people asking to crash at your place?
No. Mm-mm. Not at all. And this is Courtney Farrington, friend of the show, Courtney
Oh,
Farrington, is
hell yeah.
had to come in town for a couple of days, so that's why. So I mean, like, he is basically, for
Yeah,
all
that's
intents and purposes, my brother.
I was gonna say
So
that's fam.
yeah, that's family. So I'm like, yeah, sure, okay, absolutely. But
Real talk.
no, mm-mm. Yeah, I don't know if I cultivate the kind of relationships where people hit me up to stay with me. And that's partially me. I
Okay.
mean, I think we can feel how warm and cuddly I am. Um, so, I may not be that inviting, but I do know, in order to stave off like sadness, that I need to have interactions with people.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to make a list of who's allowed in my house. Ooh, excuse me. I'm trying to make a list of who's allowed in my house.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Not
Yeah.
everybody is allowed in your house. Like, to your point of, like, we know some of the most creative people, and I'm like, they ain't great. I don't mean I want you in my house. So that's where it is right now. Just like, okay, who could I hang with
That's real.
in my home, because that means you can see my stuff. And there are people who I could hang with, but I don't think I could hang with in my house because they would get, I feel, maybe a little too weird.
Interesting.
You
What kind of
know,
weird?
I this sounds crazy when I say it,
Okay, I'm excited.
but there are some people who I do like, but I feel like they would get in my home and just want to try to figure me out through my things.
Okay.
And I mean, I live in my apartment, so my stuff is everywhere, but I don't know how I feel about the idea of someone trying to, like, figure out what I'm like, actively figure out what I'm like through what's in my house. And that seems wild because what's in your house, you're like, that's you. It's an extension
Yeah.
of you. Of course, I don't mind if someone comes and they're like, oh, okay, so you like this, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this is cool. Yeah. But I mean, like, someone who's just like, who comes in and makes a beeline for, like, your books or something. I mean, just "Oh, you read," so you know what I mean? Just like I'm a nut that needs to be cracked. And there are some people who I do enjoy, but
Yeah.
I gotta keep them, like, at arm's length.
That's real. I get that.
And so it's that kinda thing. Not like in a I will be sad at what they decide on when they come in my, but it's just that's it's my apartment. It's the last place that I really want someone to come over and like I said, try to figure me out,
I get it.
you
Fortress of
know?
solitude. I get it.
Yeah, just like, actively figuring. If we sit down and we hang out and we getting to know, or, expanding that, whatever relationship we have is different than getting to the bottom of. Do you know what I mean?
So okay, I'm understanding this more because I
Okay.
have a similar feeling, but not the same place.
Okay.
So I love when people come over to my place.
Mhm.
I love sharing what I have. I love going to people's places.
Right.
Ironically, I'm worried because I actually love looking through people's bookshelves.
I
But
mean, if I'm by your bookshelf and I look, I go, "Oh, okay, cool." But
yeah,
I don't wanna have a conversation.
that's real. Okay.
I wanna see what it is that you're reading and go, "Oh, okay." You know what I mean? Like, I'm not there's just a different way that people do it, and I understand it's not that I don't want you to have the urge. I absolutely have the urge. I'm the child of a world-class snoop. My mother snooped like no one's business. And so I also wanna see what's going on, but
Yeah.
I don't there's, like, an air of, like, "Oh, good. I get to come over and see your" No, no, no.
See, I
Calm down.
control yourself. All right.
Relax.
It's not a show.
Relax. Yeah.
Now I'm with you.
Mhm.
I feel the same way you feel about people seeing where I grew up.
Okay.
Like I don't want people at my parents' house to know me.
Sure.
Like I feel like you're seeing the secret sauce. And
Right,
like
right, right.
there's stuff that like I say is a joke that you might realize, oh, that comes from a real dark place. Or
Right.
like you know what I mean? And like I don't want you to realize that like a joke I make of some is like based in like a dark reality or something. Like, oh,
Mhm.
like G laughed like that because he ain't had braces or something, I
Right,
don't know.
yes,
And
yes.
like it'll hit different,
Mhm.
So when like I was doing writing sessions uh a couple years ago where I just had comics come and link up and we would write together.
Mhm.
And my parents have a bigger yard than me. So I was hosting it at my parents' yard.
Mhm.
And I only did it on the days where there's a bathroom in their house that they could use that I could take them to the bathroom without
Mhm.
them seeing the whole house.
Okay.
So I was like, yeah, like that bathroom is free, cool, then we could do this.
Right.
So that I know, like, yo, you ain't seeing no pictures.
Right, right, right.
I don't want you seeing my mom's artwork, nothing.
Mhm.
Real talk. But like my crib, I'm okay with that. I feel like, but I also think we're different people in that regard. I'm pretty like, I talk about everything. And I think that when you go to my house, there's no surprise.
Right.
I do think you're more protected of like your stuff in general, like even on stage. So like
Yeah,
there's stuff
yeah,
about you that's you. And I
right.
think that's dope. I had that with my parents. So I was like, yeah, like,
Okay.
don't go over there. That's the private stuff.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I don't yeah, so I don't have that anchor anymore of a parental home. So that now is, I guess, basically where I am.
Yeah.
And I will, if I invite you in or over, it is because I trust that you will not be weird. And it's so hard to kind of like put a fine point on it, but that's ultimately it, that you won't, that you'll just take it in and go, "Oh, okay." And it'll it'll help you with your understanding of me without it being like, "Oh, that's why you know what I mean?"
Right,
It's
right.
not like a, like, I don't want you coming in with, like, a detective's notebook, like a homicide detective's little flip pad, like
Yeah,
Law& and Order, and take notes on what you see. Like, I don't want that vibe.
that's real.
Um, but I do want, yeah, so at any rate, I'm just trying to figure out who I can open up, the place to.
Listen, I don't think it should be more than 10 people.
Yeah, I
Real
mean,
talk.
honestly, I think as you get older, you should be cutting some people out of your life. You shouldn't have like so many friends. Why do you have so many friends? Can't you just sit quietly somewhere
Yeah,
with someone? Why does it have to be so much? And yeah, I probably right now, of the crew of people that I would let in, it probably wouldn't be more than 10.
yeah, real talk. Like
Yeah.
excluding people that have my last name or my
Mhm.
wife's last name.
Right.
I think it's like 10, 15 people.
Mhm.
I would say 50 people backyard.
Oh,
But in
wow.
the apartment, we down to 10. Like I might almost get single digits.
Yeah,
Real
yeah.
talk. And then my parents' house, like the list will never expand again.
Mm.
It is you. If you've gone there, great. No one else will ever be added to that list.
Right, right.
Real talk. Like if I have another kid, we gotta talk.
Uh-huh.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you might not see grandma and grandpa's house. Okay.
The list is closed.
The list is closed. Okay. Everyone's that's on it is on it. That's it. I like this. I like
Y
this. I will
y
say you have a lovely place, Sha.
Oh, yeah, thank you. You're fine. You've seen me pre and post op. So,
Real talk.
I'm
You
like, "Yeah,
good.
Gastor can come in." Gastor and your family, you're all fine to come in, even your teenage children who absolutely will come in and be like, "What's the problem with this lady?" And that's fair because they're teenagers, and I don't, that's great. I understand that energy. That's how they're going into a lot of new spaces. So,
Real
I'm
talk.
not mad at that. Their whole point right now is to try to get to the bottom of things.
Yo,
So that's fine. But if you're like 37 and you're like, "I wanna figure out," relax,
yo.
relax. You know what I mean? We'll be friend if I wanna be friendly, we'll be friends, but, like, Jesus, calm down,
Yo.
calm
Sha.
down.
It's funny you say that too, because like when I first like bought like the cameras I've been using to record sets in the show
Mhm.
to test that they're able to run for like 3, 4 hours, I just left one of the cameras on in my office. Just to like, I wanted to record for 4 hours.
Right.
And like an hour into that, I left for a show and we had the extra fridge in here. So
Mhm.
Gabby sent Aiden down here to get milk
Okay.
from the fridge. I come home to this to look at the tape and I'm scrolling through it, the footage just to make sure it worked. And there's like 2.5 hours of him just like drumming on shit and just like I'm like, the fuck are you doing in my office, my G? Like,
Oh,
literally just like do 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 do, like just making noises to himself,
right,
typing, and I'm like, the fuck? Like, nothing was. He was just playing around in my office, looking at every crevice, like moving the posters,
right,
and just like, and it hit me like, yo, he doesn't get a peek into who Dad is
right, and
outside of
that's
this is
your
my
little
domain.
cave, yeah,
Yeah,
and so he's like, "Oh, here's a chance."
real talk. So I got like, he's looking through like vinyl, like he's like, oh, who's like, and he's talking it out loud. He's like, who's this? I'm seeing him make faces. That shit was so dope. But
Does he know that you were recording? Did you tell
nah,
him?
I've told Gabby, but I haven't told him.
Oh,
I just think it's
wow.
beautiful. I'm gonna show it to him on his wedding day.
That's
Real
so
talk.
funny. Yeah, that's perfect. That's
Real
perfect.
talk. I got just him just exploring my room, just like looking at records. He's like, and this is weirdly around the time like that he like went on like a Nas rabbit hole, but I think it's because he saw like my Illmatic record. Like I
Okay.
told him about it, but like he saw the vinyl and like yo, he went on like and then like he sent me a essay text of what he thought of each track. But
Oh,
like
right.
straight up. But he was like here just playing around in my room, touching the foam. He was messing on the drum pads, flicking through my post-it notes. And he's making like stupid sounds like doo-doo-doo-doo, you know.
And
I think it's awesome.
that's exactly what he should have been
Yeah.
doing.
I
Yeah.
thought it was dope. Like I was like, yeah, real talk, I do a lot of that too. I think that's important to have a space where you can do that.
Yeah.
So I think he was like getting a feel like, oh, this is what a space like this could look like in the future for me, you
I
know?
guess so. I think it's mostly because he's trying to figure out his dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. He's just like, "So what makes him tick? What's going on in here? I'm never down here. Let me just see what's going on." Because it's not like he destroyed the place.
No. I
It was
honestly
pu
didn't notice if I didn't look at the tape.
it's pure curiosity.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's great.
Real talk. I know I was one of the things I thought was fun is that like there was a lot of like looking up. Like he was
Mhm.
trying to see like what I see in the ceiling. Like a lot of just like what's different. I don't know. There's so much about that video cracked me up. I think it's great.
Oh, man. That's wonderful. That's
Real talk.
wonderful.
And those are the only people allowed to explore.
Yeah, yeah,
That's it.
kids.
You made them cool. I get it. They
Y
gotta they gotta figure it out.
right.
I
Yeah,
like
but
this.
otherwise, I don't know, I just gotta be I don't know, I just for whatever reason, I don't open up to everybody. So if I've decided to, then that's great. Um, and then you'll get to see the mess from the inside because it's wacky in here. So
Yo, because we are tired.
we
And
are
I don't got the
so
energy to
tired.
hide it if I let you in.
Exactly. Like, cleaning up. Yuck.
You
Yuck.
know what my normal standard is, all right? We good.
Yeah, yeah.
Real talk.
So
Shot. I love when you offer clarity for my life. Real talk.
I'm glad I can do it. Even halfway awake, I can do it.
Amen. Amen. Let's get into the news.
Okay.
Kicking us off. Women's baseball players could soon have a league of their own again. That's right. Nearly every highlight of Julie Cross's trailblazing baseball career, all except for her time as a double in a league of their own, really. Uh, she shared the field with men, frequently as teammates, always as foes. That's mostly how it's been for generations. The Women's Professional Baseball League, WPBL, announced plans last month to launch in 2026 as a 16 circuit for female players. If and when it debuts, it will be the first pro league for women since the All American Girls Professional Baseball League, the one immortalized in the League of Their Own that dissolved in 1954.
Wait,
Uh,
what?
yo,
Hold on.
we back,
Huh.
baby. Yeah, we got softball and we
Right,
got it in
yeah.
college, but like pro baseball for women has not existed approaching 70 years.
Why is that, I wonder?
Mm, mm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Can you
I don't know
can
how
you
softball became the women's one.
Oh, because it's called softball and it's an underhand pitch.
Yeah, but dudes play that.
Yeah, I know, but they're just biding their time until they can play baseball. Because that's what I was getting ready to ask. Can the skills of softball be transferred to baseball? So if someone is coming up now and they've been doing softball like for practically their whole life and
Right.
they're a beast at it, and they go through college and they do like a softball
Mm,
scholarship, blah, blah, blah. If this league launches and is somewhat successful, will they be pulling from all of the softball players that have come through the women's softball system?
huh.
Do you
That's
know
a
what
good
I
question.
mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, I think it's softball is the diamond smaller.
Yeah, it's 60 feet instead of 90 to each base.
Oh, Jesus. That's okay. Yeah, all right. But then women's baseball, do you think they're going to do it like whatever baseball is now, like the same? Like, do you think women's baseball will be 90 feet between bases, or do you think they'll cheat and do like a 75 or some shit?
I feel like they have to do 90. I think,
Right? I mean, like in
yeah,
baseball, if you want them to play it, they should play it like
yeah. I think what you can change is the outfield, only because we do that in baseball anyway.
mm,
Like in baseball, the diamond is the same in every field,
mhm.
but every team is allowed to decide how far the outfield fences are, how tall
Okay.
they are,
Mhm.
and also how much space is in out in the foul play area.
Okay.
So, and because of that, every team has a different strategy. Like you can have a team that has a lot of really good fly ball pitchers, and you'll want to make a lot of foul space. So like they'll hit fly balls in the air, gives more time for the defenders to catch it. If you have ground ball pitchers, you want to get like a lot of really good infielders. The Yankees famously have a really short right field,
Mm,
so they always want to have a lot of really good left-handed power hitters because it'll be easy home runs for them. So I think for women, you can keep the diamond the same, but
right.
they aren't going to be as strong as the men. So you could bring the infield fence in.
Okay.
I think that would make the most sense. But like, there's just certain the throwing a ball overhanded from the pitcher's mound.
Mhm.
I think that would still be like too. That would be dangerous if you did it from where the softball mound is. I think
Right, because it's
it would be too
closer,
close.
right?
Yeah, it
Yeah,
would be
yeah,
too
so you would
close.
have to it would have to be further away. Okay. I'm looking further in this article because this article, it kinda just about that one lady that they started off with, but I'm looking for more stats. More than 471,000 high school boys play baseball, while 473,000 girls play softball. So,
Mm,
the NCAA doesn't offer women's baseball, but 9 women played on the men's baseball teams in 2024, according to NCAA demographic database,
yep.
and about 21,000 women play college softball. So, yeah, so I'm just wondering, like, can they make that switch? And if
Yeah.
so, like, I mean, that's still a little bit of a different skill set, right?
Yeah, I would assume there's a lot of overlap, except for
Mhm.
I think the pitching's the biggest difference.
Right.
Besides the motion, the grip, and the ball size, but everything else I think is the same, or similar enough that it would be like a transferable skill, and they'd
Right.
all be doing it at the same time anyway.
Right.
You know, but the fact that they're saying like that many women were playing softball in high school more than the men were playing baseball,
Right.
there's a demo here. You know, like
Yeah,
there's a market,
absolutely.
you know, like there's people here that want to play this sport. When I think of teenage girls in this country, I want to say softball is probably the sport after soccer that they would play the most. I think they would give baseball a run, basketball a run for its money. Um,
Yeah.
at least here.
Mhm.
Obviously not nationally, but I mean internationally. But I feel like I know a lot of like girls that grew up playing softball.
Yeah, a girl I went to high school with, has a daughter who I've only watched via Facebook. Not in a creepy way. My friend posts her whole family on there all the time,
They're
so
good.
that's how. But her kid is like, maybe about to be a senior in high school, and I watched her start playing softball, and she's a pitching like beast. She's
Awesome.
so good at pitching, and so that's who I think of where I'm like, huh, I wonder if she would be able to learn if this becomes a thing,
Yeah.
how does she learn the baseball way of pitching? How long what is that process? Like, I wonder if that's something that they're thinking of when they're thinking of, like, recruitment, like, "Oh, we may look at all of these women playing softball, which is great, but we also may have to do some things in order to make sure that it works out
Right.
well."
I love this though. I think it's awesome. Anytime I think one of the things that since having kids I've noticed there is a lack of opportunity, although more and more they're existing, but there's a lack of opportunity for girls to compete in the same way that we like really push that on boys.
Mhm.
Um and I don't know, I felt like it was a large part of how I grew up, and I think it's a big reason why men are looked at for leadership roles, because you're learning that in sport.
Mhm.
And I anytime I see a chance for more women to get that, I think of that. That like it's a weird, like, it's not a direct line, but I do think it affects the way we view women as potential leaders. Um, by we, I mean cis men who don't have that idea
Right,
uh
yeah.
naturally. Like, I think that's why, like, we're surrounded by situations where boys were put in positions to do that in front of us. We didn't see the equal thing for girls,
Mhm.
and now when they're women, they struggle to associate them as leaders, and literally like fuck up elections over this.
Right, sure.
So
Yeah,
stuff like, whenever I see something like this, it gets me excited because it's not a women's thing. It might be the women's equivalent, but we're doing the same game. You know what
right.
I mean? And the games that I think we share, especially in this country, you can argue the women do better. The three sports that I think of that are equally men and women
Mhm.
are golf, soccer, and tennis. And
Right.
I would say two of those, the American women are better than the American men.
Oh, yeah, for
And
sure.
right, it's not even close to me.
Mhm.
So anytime something like this pops up is interesting. And I think it's a cool opportunity to kind of like spread the idea more and more that girls should be allowed to compete. Women should be viewed as leaders. So I think this is fire. I love it.
Alright. I
Real
mean,
talk.
that's great.
I got a little Dominican girl upstairs. I'm training her now. Real
Okay.
talk.
You're
Podcast
training
over
her,
right
and
this
I
moment.
think actually she's going to be a leader in, like, psychological warfare, which is honestly, that's where it's happening for young ladies, is
Fair.
in the trenches of, uh, you know, uh, I don't know, just relationship-wise. That's
Mm.
where we are Vikings in competition and things of that nature. That's where sadly we shine sometimes. Um,
Real talk. Yeah, Gabby's been on a Walking Dead like binge.
mhm.
She's watched the whole Walking Dead series and the Fear of Walking Dead.
Okay.
And like every time Michaela walks in, she's like, yo, these women are kicking ass. Like they are
Mhm.
carrying these dudes.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Real talk. It's been ill. There's an old dude with a stick, and then everything else is women. She's like, real talk.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they're trying to get that stick from him, I tell you what.
Oh man. In other news, man overwhelmed by pet mice breeding rate gives nearly 1,000 rodents to the New Hampshire shelter.
No, what the fuck? What are
Oh
you
my.
talking about? I don't even wanna that headline is evocative enough. Why you know what? There was an episode of Hoarders.
Okay.
If I remember correctly, I feel like there was a guy who had rabbits. Y'all let me know if I'm wrong or if it was rats. I think it was rabbits. And they started breeding and he couldn't stop them and his house was just overrun with rabbits. Does
Oh my
that feel
God.
yeah, I feel like someone let me know if I made that up. I should look up hoarders rabbits right now.
Real talk. If that ain't real, that's a nightmare, Sha. Real
Yeah,
talk.
so imagine hoarders rabbit episode. Okay, so I am not making that up. That auto populated.
Oh my goodness.
Um, yes, Gary from season 3, episode 20. Okay, so then that is a thing that happened. But how do you not know how mice, you know what? I guess let's just read the article and see what the fuck how this happened.
Man arrived at the New Hampshire animal shelter last week claiming he wanted to surrender 150 pet mice. The shelter was ready to take them in, but the problem soon became much more mousive when he clarified that.
Boo! Boo! Boo!
And this is NBC, by the way.
Uh,
Uh, when he clarified that he had 150 tubes full of
tubs.
tubs full of mice to surrender, not 150 individual rodents. The overwhelmed mouse owner initially brought 73 mice on November 11th. On another 450 were transferred shortly thereafter, and staff members made trips to his home Tuesday and Wednesday filling vans with tubs full of mice. The shelter said it expects the number to grow to nearly 1,000. Jeez.
Oh, no. Why would you I guess we'll never find out why this guy even wanted all of these mice.
Yo, serious. These are pet mice or fancy mice, the shelter confirmed. Uh,
Okay.
it said the mice are highly social, prefer to live in groups, and are relatively easy to care for. Most are already available for adoption, except those on pregnancy watch or in need of veterinary care.
Pregnancy watch.
Yo,
Oh my goodness. Okay, so they're fancy mice. I mean, that's
fancy
good, but I
mice.
mean, you never know if one of these street mice might have come in here and gotten in the mix.
Real
You'll
talk, man.
you'll be able, I guess, to point it out. So I mean, that's so many mice, right? That's so
Yo,
many, and I.
the reason behind the whisker curling number is a rapid rodent reproduction rate.
Mhm.
The NHSPCA said mice were not separated by sex and were reproducing uncontrollably. The gestation period of only 20 days. Mice can reproduce incredibly quickly.
20 days.
20 days, yo. 20 days. Yo,
20 days.
real talk, man. Yo, think of the poor, like, yo, mouse, you working on the road. You come home, Lady Mouse stepped out on you. You only been out 3 weeks. Now she got a whole new family, B. She forgot you. She made twins.
Look,
She
while you
moved
were
on.
out on the road, you probably knocked up like 3 mice your damn self. It
Real
ain't
talk.
always like anybody's fucking. Do you understand? We can't just now I
Real
gotta look
talk.
up the gestation period for rats.
20 days is wild.
That's
Many of the females already arrived pregnant. Yo, that is bananas. I feel like this is one of those animals where you should not be allowed to buy male and female. You have to get either or.
Oh, you shouldn't. Yeah, but what if like one of them the balls didn't drop or something? Okay, I'm looking at rats, and for the most part, they're 21 to 30 days.
Okay, a little slower.
Well, they're bigger, I guess. So you need a little more a
Yo,
little more time to let it cook. But I mean, still, like
that is
a brown
bananas.
rat is 20 to 24 days. That's still I mean, it's still under a month.
Yo, that is wild.
That's a new litter every month.
Every month. Yo,
Every month.
that is too many kids. That's too many kids.
And pregnant again. Pregnant again.
Somewhere there is a mouse version of Shalewa.
Who lives alone?
Real talk that started the podcast that they do the same way. I am tired.
I'm tired.
All my nieces and nephews keep coming over, eating on my cheese, trying to
ones
see how the hole in my corner of the house look.
ones I hadn't even met yet because they're under 20 days old.
You know what I mean? I'm an old mouse. You know what I mean? I'm 60 days. You know what I
Right,
mean?
exactly.
Real
Yo,
talk.
what's an elderly mouse? Elderly mouse is like a 3-month-old?
You real talk. I don't know. Life expectancy of mice. They live 1 to 3 years.
Not in my house. That's why I got that cat. You gotta get out of here, buddy. You gotta get out of
Yo,
here.
that is wild.
That's insane.
That's too much. You
Yeah,
gotta
you
slow that
think?
down.
Also, let's shed a little light on this guy who tried to be slick and say, "Oh, I got 150 mice,"
Mm-hmm.
and then it turned out to be 150 tubs of mice. So those are, and I'm thinking, if you say tub in container speak, it's
Yeah.
not like a little itty bitty boopity boop container. That's
Mm-mm.
like people like heavy. You know what I mean?
Real talk. That's in
That's
the attic.
yeah, yes. That's not one that you access a lot.
Nah,
So 150
that is
over a
wild.
that's insane.
Uh-uh.
But
This is the problem.
I want to know his story. Did he just buy 2 mice in love and then just let it go, or did he get like a couple of mice and he didn't even think to flip them over or try to figure out what was happening, and then suddenly he was just overwhelmed?
I mean,
It,
I assume he doesn't have a partner. Right?
uh,
Somebody would have talked him out of this.
yeah. I mean, yeah.
You know what I mean? Somebody would be like, and so then
I
when he
assume
sees
even
the
if they didn't talk them out of it, like if you have a partner who's like, "Yeah, honey, let's get pet rodents," because I do know couples who have done that. Um, I feel like the partner should have stepped in after like the third litter, after like month 3, and
real
just been
talk,
like,
yo,
"Hey, maybe we should let's see about this. Is this I don't know if this is healthy or safe, but let's see if we can nip this in the bud."
real talk. When like you got so many mice, you got to make like trips to like the container store.
Yes.
Yo, that's wild. Real talk. You got
And
150 contain like tubs.
tubs.
That's
You
not you
bought
don't you
out the Family Dollar.
real talk, yo. Because you don't start with that. Like that means the
No.
mice were already a problem, and you were like, I gotta package these
Yo,
things.
I gotta get some of these in. Right. How far did it go before you were like, yeesh,
Gee,
I gotta do
yo,
something?
he telling his friends, he's like, yo, I only had 1,000 mice at first. You know, that's cool, right? And nobody like, nah, my
What?
G, that's
No.
crazy. He like, I
Yeah.
let that slide. They wasn't bothering me that much, but I had to get the tubs after a while.
Oh my God.
Uh-uh. Real talk, B.
And then took him to the humane. I can't. People, what's wrong with you?
Yo, you know, if you're gonna have these mice, you gotta stand by these mice.
That's
Raise them,
true.
okay?
Raise them right.
Raise them
Don't
right.
just throw them all in a tub. And now you're not even separating sex. So what are they doing in the tub? They're already on top of each other, all hot and bothered. Come
You
on.
know what I mean?
You
They
put
getting
you
shook.
put 60 in the tub, but you open it up. There's another 240 of them. Like, what happened?
Oh man, out of control, yo. In other news, Pentagon fails its 7th audit in a row, but says progress was made. That's right. Pentagon on Friday failed its 7th audit, with the nation's largest government agency still unable to fully account for its more than $824 million budget. Though officials stress they are making good progress towards a clean audit in 2028. That's right.
What? I wish somebody would.
Yo,
What?
I'm gonna say that to the IRS this year. Yo,
Hey,
real talk.
man, I'm making good progress.
Real talk. I got you in 4 years.
You just come back, check on me, and like, I got you in like 3, 4 years.
Trust me. Trust me.
Yeah, why would I lie?
The Department of Defense technically earned a disclaimer of opinion, meaning it failed to provide sufficient information to auditors to form an accurate opinion. Yo, yo, y'all are trash.
Jesus, Pentagon.
The goal is to earn an unmodified audit opinion or a clean audit that says the financial statements are accurate. A qualified opinion says there are omissions and concerns, but the finances are generally reliable. Michael McLeod, Under Secretary of Defense Comptroller and Chief Financial Officer, said that despite the disclaimer of opinion, which he expected, the Defense Department has turned the corner in its understanding of the depth and breadth of its challenges. Momentum is on our side.
What the fuck?
Yo. Momentum is on our side. And throughout the department, there is a strong commitment and belief in our ability to achieve an unmodified audit opinion.
Why are you speaking like a successory? Why momentum is on our side is the kind of thing you see under a picture of an eagle soaring over the Grand Canyon. Why are you talking that way? Where's the money? Why are you talking like a paperweight?
Real
What is
talk,
this?
B. You ain't climbed no mountains. You spent money. Real talk. You ain't free solo shit.
Oh my God.
You spent too much money and you don't know where you spent it at.
Oh man. I wish a bill collector would holler at me like, "Hey, where's this money?" And I'm like, "Momentum's on my side." I am so close to coming up to where I'm about to turn a corner. Like, what? Get out of here.
Oh my God. This is incredible.
7 years, by the way.
Yo. And
7 years of momentum. What's the momentum? What are we waiting to move? Molasses? Momentum is on
and he
our
still don't
side.
got you for another 4.
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy.
Wait, has the Pentagon ever gotten a decent opinion or whatever this is called?
Yo, I don't know here. Let's see.
Have do are any are the books balanced for any government, or are we all just like lying on our wallets?
Well, agencies that earned a clean audit include
Mhm.
Defense Commissionary Agency, Defense Contract Audit Agency,
Mhm.
Defense Finance and Accounting Services, and the Defense Health Agency, Defense Information Systems Agency, Military Retirement Fund, the National Reconnaissance Office, and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers Civil Works.
The
And
National Reconnaissance. So
yeah,
the spies got their money straight.
the spies got their money, the accountants got their money.
Well, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Agencies also closed or downgraded their material weaknesses associated with their funding balance with the Treasury Department. Okay, meaning they have accurately balanced their
Mhm.
spending with money held in a government account or achieved a positive report on tracking it.
Okay.
Okay, so everyone else is progressing. He added the Pentagon has improved from less than 7% to more than 83% of its funding being free of material weaknesses since 2021.
I don't
This
believe that. I don't believe that. I don't believe that.
Oh man, they have a goal of a clean audit in 2028. It means the
That's
Pentagon.
so wild. That's so wild. Hey, I swear to you, I'm gonna get my shit straight
Yo, that is
in
bananas.
4 years. That's insane to say that. And then
Jeez.
be like, momentum is on our side. Get out of here.
Yo, you telling the president before he president that I'm gonna get it right when you're not president again.
Right.
Yo, that's wild.
I mean, it won't happen in your lifetime, but I swear to you, we will get this right.
That's bananas. Yo, before you get in here, we fucked up.
But give us like about 4 more years and we
How long you
got
here
you.
for? I need that much time. Real talk. Oh my goodness. The audit cost the Defense Department $178 million that they can't find.
Mhm.
And it involved 1,700 auditors. Yo,
What? And none of
real
them?
talk.
I need a movie about this. Is there a movie about this? Did
There
somebody
should be.
make a movie about this? I feel like
Real
this
talk. It's just
this
1,700 people looking at the screen. Huh?
I
Huh?
know. I feel like this is a movie. I feel like Philip Seymour Hoffman, R.I.P. King, this is in your wheelhouse.
Yo.
Help us. Send your son Cooper. Cooper Hoffman, what you doing? I got a new movie for you.
Real
I need
talk.
you to figure out where this momentum is coming from and why it's moving so goddamn slow. I need you with a hand on a hip screaming at somebody like yesterday. Let's go.
In other news, smuggler arrested with 300 tarantulas strapped to his body. Yo, we can count the tarantulas,
Uh-huh.
but we can't count the money
We
yet.
can't come up with the money.
Police in Peru. Oh, okay, it's in Peru. They got their stuff together over there.
Yeah, you think? All right.
Police in Peru have arrested a man caught trying to leave the country with 320 tarantulas, 110 centipedes, and 9 bullet ants strapped to his body.
What's a bullet ant? And why was he
Yo,
only able to get 9 of them?
yeah, how big are
And
bullet
what
ants?
okay, let me look up what a bullet ant is and
Oh, okay, that's pretty
why
brawling.
he felt like he needed to leave with 9 of them.
I will say they are about the size of a bullet. They're about an inch and a half.
Oh,
Inch.
no.
That's scary.
No.
Yeah, I want no
No.
parts of that. You keep that
Why
over
are
there.
you is this for like fear factor? Why are you doing this?
The 28-year-old South Korean national was stopped at
Mhm.
George Chavez International Airport in Lima after officials noticed that his stomach area looked bulky. The search revealed hundreds of insects packaged inside Ziploc bags strapped to his abdomen. Police detained the man who was traveling to South Korea via France, and Peru's environmental crimes prosecutor has opened an investigation. The insects are thought to have been taken from Madre de Dios's region in the Peruvian Amazon. They are now in the care of authorities. Tarantulas are a threatened species.
Oh, wait, they are?
Yeah,
Are we almost out of tarantulas?
real talk. We running short.
You know,
He had 320 of them.
I used to live with a tarantula.
Really?
Okay, I'll explain. My best friend Jordan, when I met her, it was to move in with her.
Okay.
We had a mutual friend. I was trying to get out of the house, and Jordan had broken up with a boyfriend, and he had moved out of the house that they were sharing. So she needed a roommate. So our mutual friend was like, "You go. This is where she lives. Y'all meet up and see if this will work out." And I went over there, and we immediately recognized each other because we were both in the streets of Atlanta in the same places around the same time. So when I
Okay.
saw her, I was like, "Oh, you!" And so, which is a wild way to greet somebody. But so she's showing me around. I agree to move in. She's showing me around, and she's like, "All right, so I've got these animals," and I'm like, "Okay." So she had a few leopard geckos, like
Okay.
3 leopard geckos, and a container of crickets, which is what you fed the leopard geckos. And she had um 2 iguanas,
Okay.
Sherman. I forgot the woman's name. The woman iguana. She wore lipstick. But yeah. So and then she had a snake, like a corn snake or something, and a tarantula. Those were not her animals. Those were the ex's animals, but he didn't want them anymore. So she had all her. She was more of a lizard, uh, gecko, iguana type person, more
Okay. Okay.
reptiles. And then the spider, this tarantula, and this snake. And the tarantula's little area, its little house, was across, like next door to my bathroom, what I would use as the bathroom. So there's just a tarantula in there. So, I just lived with this tarantula and this snake. The snake accidentally, I think, was murdered at our Christmas party.
Oh no.
Somebody went in there to play with this, people are drunk and they're playing with the snake. And we didn't notice until the next day when we were cleaning up. And Jordan was like, "Oh no, someone the snake." And I'm like, "What happened?" She's like, "Oh, I think someone broke the snake's neck." And I'm like, "How can you tell it's a snake?" And she's like, "He's curled up." And I'm like, "I mean, snakes curl up." And she's like, "Not in like a perfect spiral." And I looked and it was like someone took the time to put it in like this perfect spiral, which is not a natural way for a snake to be. So someone played with the snake, killed the snake, tried to wrap that bitch back up in the habitat, and then was just like, "Merry Christmas," and left. Anywho,
Yo.
the tarantula ended up dying too. Probably just because it was like, these bitches ain't gonna be able to take care of me. And then just fell on a butter knife or something. I don't know. But
Oh my
yeah.
God.
So yeah.
If you would like to subscribe to the Serial Podcast, what happened to that snake? Shalewa Stories.
What happened to that snake? What happened to that snake?
Oh man. All you gotta do is like and subscribe to the show, baby. If you're an Apple Spotify listener, we appreciate your ratings. 4 stars, you didn't get that musical reference. Okay?
In which case, just you are definitely not allowed in my house if you did not get that reference. That was not even hard. Come on now.
Oh man, 5 stars, you own that album somewhere. If you have any articles you want us to cover, please DM us directly on Twitter or Instagram at Silky Jumbo or at Gastor Almonte. Shout outs to sweet to Iron Fist Mom, The Rare Element, Noble Brown, and FCBLJ. Always appreciate y'all. With all that said, I am admittedly invested. I got to know what happened. You know what I mean?
What happened with
Gastor Almonte with the Remix King. Shalewa Sharpe. Give her a crown.
Yeah, if you want someone to shoehorn it into a Neptune's beat, I'm your gal. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out how to get it in there.
Oh man. Catch y'all next time. Shaw's replacing Chad Hugo.
Yo, come on. I'm always here for Chad Hugo.
Real talk. You gonna see Shy pressing keyboards now. Catch y'all next time. Peace.